Hey everyone, Corey here, coming in to do our energy update. This is for this week. I should have recorded this yesterday. No, actually, I started recording this yesterday. So it was yesterday. I sat down, started recording 2 or 3 times. It wasn't coming. And what I really recognized, sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. What I really recognized was that there was a passive aggressive energy. And I've been days and weeks trying to communicate with this and try to uh, kind of connect with this energy. And it is the only way I can describe it is like passive aggressive, is that sense of if you've ever crossed paths with passive aggressive and passive aggressive behavior, and maybe you have it yourself, because everyone has the potential for these behavioral patterns, is that, or these, and or even in your collective consciousness of awareness of people who've been in your life, is passive aggressive appears to be kind of nice. It's like backhanded compliments, trying to be somewhat like smile on their face, but they're actually being condescending or not being, you know, not being authentic. There's a falseness to it, right? It's like, oh, that would look so good if only, you look so good, but only. There's always that. And so it's been annoying. And I've been really trying to communicate to what it is. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. And so this energy has been there. But the other energy is speaking about harmony and balance in life, and it's the energy that is bringing forth the all or nothing and moving out of the all or nothing, and in everything more than existing. That is one of the biggest things that I work with people, is to deprogram from the sensations that we have to be all or nothing. Like it's like being in overdrive, that fight or flight, right? Like that. It's like you get enthusiastic about something, but going full board and then being exhausted and not being able to maintain the balance of it, not to create harmony in our lives. And so that's coming up as well. And so the passive aggressive has been affecting communicating with this energy. So I've had to decide which one that I'm going to really put my focus into communicating with. And this morning I stood up to the passive aggressive. And I'm like, I recognize you. I see you. I know you. I have seen you in many places, many faces, and many spaces. And today is not your day. You're not going to be the trickster. You're not going to be the martyr of this. You're not going to be the winning energy. I'm going to go with what appears to be boring. And what appears to be boring to some is actually about that sense of creating balance and harmony in life. It's about balancing things out, doing things in moderation, finding ourselves in healthier spaces and healthier places in our mind, in our heart, in our physical world, in our spiritual world, and in our emotional world. It's about really truly creating that sense of a healthy mindset and healthy well-being. How much emphasis do we need to put into specific things? How much do we need to go overboard? So let's just look at, for say, the energy that comes with this season, right? So we're moving in through the back end of the summer season, but fall is not here. So there's this drive that enters in, and this is where that passive aggressive kind of comes in, that appears to be like it is enticing, it's good for us, but it has a passive aggressive energy, and it is the influence of the next season, of the fall. And so it's like all or nothing into jumping out of summer and into fall. And no matter how hot and sweaty you are, you're going around with your big sweater on, your scarves on, drinking your pumpkin spice latte and Uggs on and big jeans, and because I'm looking forward to this season, but you have a whole fall and winter to wear that season and to be in those clothes. And so And so it's not pushing beyond or pushing something that doesn't need to be pushed upon us. And so looking at life and looking at where you are right now and looking at the things you hate the most as somebody, that somebody pushing something on you, pushing an agenda. And how many times do we do that even within our own lives, sometimes with the people in our lives to get what we want? It's like you get so excited about something that you go overboard. So by the time actual, September the 21st comes and fall happens to hit, you're already over fall, right? You're already over it. I'm over it. I've already been like a whole month in this because I went all or nothing. But now I'm wishing I could go back to my sandals. I'm wishing, and now I'm planning a holiday because I've already been existing in something that doesn't exist this early. Just an example. Just an example. As my door swings open with that, it's the, oh, yeah, I get it. But behind there, under the breath, under the undertone, they're angry and pissed off and mad. That's right. It's like, oh yeah, I'm laughing with you, but I'm actually really mad that you're actually approaching this. And that's kind of the energy that we have. It's like, you may notice this in places of where this sense of balance and harmony also brings in not being able to tell ourselves little white lies. It's about having to really, truly tell truth. And little white lies are telling lies. And the little white lies that we tell ourselves are truth, that are still lies, is also blended into this energy, which means there's that trickster energy that is like just beneath the breath, like smiling, going along with it, playing along, but yet is pissed off and mad, and is like there's an undertone, right? There's an undertone of anger, and the anger reveals itself. The ugliness reveals itself. It comes up, it comes out. I get angry about fall coming, but not really. And so there is this blended energy. And so you may find that if you have been trying to slow down, take a breath, take a breather, not trying to rush something, that you may also feel that there is another side of you that is trying to push the agenda to go get things done, because the influence of the energy is like, this is go time. This is a good time to start getting back into life and getting back into the world. You've got to remember, a lot of that energy is coming from the programming, the conditioning, the collective consciousness. It is coming from that which influences the archetypal energy, the archetypes of the human nature, the human patterns, is all connected to collective consciousness. The archetypes I'm going to teach you about, if you're joining my course, will be about the mystical. It's the unseen. It is the aspects of the soul, the parts of ourselves that no matter how much we try to move beyond, it's just the part of the identity we have, because it's on a soul level. But we're talking collective consciousness. And so this passive aggressive energy, which is ultimately not passive, it is pushy, it's persuasive. And see, now a big tractor is coming and making noise. Tractor pulling a truck. It's coming along. It's like, so passive is that it is not actually passive at all. It's actually aggressive. And it will do things like throw dishes around. If you ever notice your passive aggressive energy, is that the muttering under the breath, the silence in the room, the throwing things around, it's fine, I don't care, just do it anyway, right? And so it's like, it's that energy that activates a sense of guilt, shame, or doubt, getting you to doubt yourself, getting you to question yourself. So this beautiful aspect of harmony, and being in harmony with the flow and going with the flow and just trusting the process and just saying, you know what, there's another few weeks. I'm not going to rush into anything. I'm going to start making a plan. I'm going to sit with this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that when it feels right, or when I have the energy, but I'm not going to get myself stuck in the hamster wheel of all or nothing. And this all or nothing energy is it's kind of the propaganda of our lives. It is what is sold to us. It's like, go all in, go hard, give it your all, prepare for this. But you got to remember that it's for the it's a long haul, right? It's a long haul. It's not a sprint. Is that we have a distance. And if we want to go the distance in our lives, in our relationships, in our careers, in our personal healing and our well-being, is that we want to create sustainability. And sustainability is what is really truly trying to bring us into the harmony. And it leaves room for the imperfections, or for the spontaneity, or for just being able to show up to, you know what, stretch out wearing that summer clothes as long as you can, because you're going to be in the winter, the fall and winter clothes way longer than you're going to be in the summer clothes. So why push the agenda? And so be very careful of pushing agendas or being pushed into the agendas. Being kind of feeling the forcefulness of the pressures of life. Pay attention this week. And of course, we have that big, powerful new moon energy that's coming up. But there's not a new moon that doesn't have some sort of influence. Remember, the new moon is a moon that we can't see. So it is that of the unseen forces that influence us. So it's what's in front of your eyes is not influencing you. It's not the words that are blah and out. It's what's behind the words. It's the energy. It is the impact that it has. It is the unseen, that which cannot be seen. And so this moon is an unseen, and really setting the intention to really question the motives, question behavior, question the little white lies, question all the little navigating around and trying to orchestrate and organize and trying to make things like kind of go a specific way, to go your way, or for someone else to make things go their way, to kind of trigger. So this energy it has the ability coming in from the collective consciousness to trigger us back into survival mode, to trigger fight and flight, to get people actively reactive, and to get us responding, to get a rise out of people, to kind of get the push on, to get the push to jump into agendas, to be in such oh, well, you know, this is happening, so we got to get all on board, or this has to happen right now. And it's like, no, it does not. There is the unexpected. And so in creating the balance and harmony, when we look at the energy right now, so one of the things I've been doing this weekend with some of the help of my niece was we picked potatoes. She picked potatoes, she cleaned potatoes. I didn't do anything. She even put them in the ground with her mom. But now the potatoes are in the storage room. And so it's creating space and time to prep and prepare some of the potatoes that I'm going to do some canning with, or to make meal preps with. And that it's, you know, the things that feel and sense like it is boring, or that you're being left behind, or that it is like in a slower pace or a snail pace, or that you're the only one in the room not dressed in your fall clothes. Well, I might be the smart one because it's still 28 degrees, but everyone else is now dressing in the fall clothes around you. And that you might be still drinking your caramel drink instead of instead of like this pumpkin spice. Be okay with being the snail pace, and being okay with being the only one, and be very okay with not being guilted. Be very certain about the actions you're about to take, and if it's coming from a passive aggressive ability to guilt, that you start to feel someone has mentioned something to you, so now you feel the nagging feeling that you've got to start doing this now. And now it's playing on, you're going to bed thinking about, you're waking up thinking about, and just saying, why am I even thinking about that? Why is that in my thoughts when that wasn't on my list? Why am I now feeling the pressure when I wasn't feeling the pressure prior to this being brought up to me? And so becoming aware of how the energies influence us, and to not to take it personally versus what is personal. So some of the energies that are directed at you, that is coming from the people around, are actually more personal than we think they are sometimes, and then other times they're not. So to not to take the energy that's coming from the cosmos, the universal energy, from the divine, or from the universal energy, and not to take that personally. You're not meant to take that personally. That's not meant to be judged as a personal judgment. That's to be used discernment to recognize that this is flowing through me because I am energy. I'm feeling the energy. I'm connecting to the energy. It is impacting me in some way, but I don't have to react to it because it's not guilting me. It's my own emotions or the behaviors of other people that are actually guilting me, making me feel like I need to rush, making me feel like I need to get going. And it's also my own mind, right? It's in my own mind. It's in my head. And so there is a lot of in the head stories that are being questioned because we tell ourselves a lot of little white lies to influence us, to get us to do the things that is coming from the fear stories, or from the passive energy, the passive aggressive energy, or from old patterns, old habits that we've had. And so this is such a prime energy. And to really set your intentions with coming up with this moon, to really catch your little white lies, and catch all the little white lies that become big lies. And it's the big lies, it's the little white lies that we tell ourselves that becomes big lies, and big lies become obstacles, it becomes challenges, it becomes manipulation, and it's not it is not motivated by the light. It's actually motivated by the darkness. And so in the void of the moon is having the faith that there is, and the trust of the moon. The moon is never not there, and the moon is never not whole or full. The moon is the same moon it always was. It is what we can see and what we cannot see. And so this energy does bring us to this phase of what we can see, what is obvious, but what is not so obvious. And it's what is not so obvious that is sometimes harder to see. And so being able to see the obvious, call out the not so obvious, and to be able to resolve and heal this. So if I could bring in a card that would be connected to this and tied to this, it would be the Justice card. And it would be the Justice card that would be coming up. And if we want to do justice in our own lives, is to bring about balance and harmony. It is to move into that space. And to recognize survival mode versus thriving mode, fight or flight versus being at peace, being able to create a more peaceful, harmonic kind of life to live in, to be able to be in the vibrational energy of the flow. I caught myself this morning kind of pushing myself to have to go to town. Now, I live in a very isolated area where I don't have any stores besides my friend Lucy's store, little places she has down there for selling farm supplies and stuff. But I've been guilting myself all morning that I have to get my showers waterproofed and painted because they're specialty made. And so they ordered in paint for me. And Friday I got the call that the paint was in. And as soon as I got the call, the panic in me was like, oh my God, I got to go get this paint now. And my husband's like, no, you don't have to go get that paint. You don't have to go anywhere today. Yes, but we need this paint. And what if I need some other stuff? He says, we've been to town 3 times in the past few days. We don't need anything else. You're not going to paint this weekend. So it's okay to sit there. And I'm like, but I told them I'd come get it. And he's like, they're not going to sell your paint. And so he was the voice of reason. So we really have to connect with our voice of reason and be in that voice of reason. So then I woke up yesterday, same thing, and it was his last day home, and I was trying to rush away from spending a day home with my husband. And in the end, the voice of reason spoke, and I was home. I woke up this morning, same thought. Oh my God, what about this paint? And it wasn't about me painting. It was about me guilting myself into believing that I needed to pick up that paint because they had already called me about this paint and it's in. But they know that I don't go to town on a regular basis. And they know I will come get that paint. They know that. I know that. But yet there is this inner dialogue that is always trying to be the servant to the fears, right? And so guilting myself into rushing onto something. So I almost neglected all the rest of my work to hop in a truck to get there this morning to get the paint that I'm not going to even paint with till later. So I'll go get the paint today, but I don't need to rush to get the paint. So here's where you start to tell yourself truths instead of little white lies. Here's the truth. The store is open till 6. It is 20 minutes away. There is no rush for me to get there. It is simply paint. The job will get done. The thing that needs to get done will get done. But this is also something that I've had on my list, and yesterday it wouldn't come, or it wasn't the right message. And I could feel the anxiousness in the energy. And and that passive aggressive pushy energy of shaming myself into, oh my God, you haven't had a video out now in days, like you need to get a video out, you need to get to work, you need to. So the all or nothing, and that sense of, not being able to connect to the voice of reason, and then also not be able to really use critical thinking. And so this energy, this moon, all of this is bringing us to a much more matured energy. Passive aggressive is very immature. It is emotionally immature. It is spiritually immature, and it causes physical immaturity in our actions and our reactions and the poutiness and all of those things that go with it. Whereas this being able to be a voice of reason, be able to do things that tend to make sense, that are productive, that are productive, that bring about positive influence and change, that is not led by little white lies, but is led by truth, honesty, integrity, and respect, that brings us into a more emotionally mature, intellectually, emotional intelligence, right? Intellectually more connected to ourselves, and be able to have that sense of trusting the intuition versus trusting the fear that is motivating us. That second response of the emotion, the one that we're responding to, that the one that's coming, it's like we feel excited and then we lose the excitement, or we feel like, okay, I can wait, but then guilt comes in and says, oh my God, no, I can't wait. Now it has been mentioned to me, now it's brought up, and now I can't even sleep because that's all I can think about. And now I need to respond to this, and I have to do this, and I need to get this done. It's tricking us. So there is this, it's so easy to be led astray and be tricked by this, rather than just getting into this harmony, right? Getting into this place of where the propagandas of our minds is not taking us down the pathways back into the old habit or the old behaviors, but moving us forward, advancing us, and that we are maturing emotionally, spiritually, physically, that our world feels like it's evolving, that we're able to have a better sense of grounding, and that we're not always doing all or nothing. And when we're not caught in the all or nothing, we are not failing ourselves. We're not yo-yoing back and forth in life, such as yo-yo dieting, gaining, it's like, or believing that we got it all figured out or know it all. So it's the same thing with like losing 20 pounds and then deciding that you should tell everyone how to lose 20 pounds and what they should eat and what they should do. And then you lose 30 pounds, but you recognize you're still only a quarter way there, but you're feeling good. So then you start giving yourself permission to cheat on yourself. But you start to lose because you start losing focus on what the whole mission was or why you were getting healthy. And getting healthy wasn't about getting skinny. It wasn't about the pictures. It was about getting healthy. And you lose that momentum. And then you slowly trickle back and you fall back into a pattern. This energy is inviting us to not to fall backwards or to fall into patterns, but to create the movement through the cycles of life, to take our time to digest where we have been, to digest what we're going through, to really become an observer, to really, slowly chew on our ideas, to really get the favor and the flavor of where we want to go and what we want to do, to really truly build it, build before we build, as we say in More Than Existing, to build a strong foundation around something and then slowly start to build it up. And it's like not guilting ourselves and saying, oh, it's all going to be gone and there's going to be nothing left for me. Not a truth. Not a truth. So there is so many moving aspects with this. And as we move into this, we're moving from Leo, moving from the zodiac sign of Leo, and we are moving into Virgo, but we will still have the influence of Leo through the planets that are being influenced by Leo right now. So we'll still have a little bit of fire as we move into the Virgo season, but we're going to be a while without fire in the zodiac signs as we move through Earth and we move through air energy. And so we're moving through the Virgo. Virgo is about it's about the sensible kind of way. It is about really looking around, gaining the clarity. It is about slow process, but it is about beginning to prepare for the harvest, right? It is about beginning something, but Virgo also hits the end of the summer season. So it's to be able to bear witness to the end of the summer season is you should never miss the end of a season, because there is such beauty in the end of a season. Things are just blossoming. Things are just still blooming. They're not finished out their season. Don't rush through, because you may miss something very important that is coming up in this period of time. You may miss it because you're so busy being caught up in what's ahead that you're not paying attention to what's in the present. So if you don't want to miss an opportunity, if you don't want to miss out on the awe and the beauty, don't get too far ahead of yourself right now and moving into the shifting and the changing of the season, because the middle, the beginning, the middle, and the end all have value. And the ending of a summer season has great value for us energetically. It has great energy for us in our bodies, in our systems, in the cycle of things. And it's a beautiful time to embrace, to see all that is happening as changes unfold, because it's in the end where the changes truly happen. The ending is where transformation happens. So it's an opportunity for great healing, great transformation, great changes, and great things to come and to unfold. Don't miss and don't discount these periods of time. They're big. This is what we have for you. This is what I have for you. I hope in some way that this inspires you to really, truly find that balance, that harmony, and really just kind of be aware of the collective energy versus this universal energy, which is not here to motivate us by fear, but it's here to give us the inspiration and the faith to know and trust that cycles come, they go, life evolves, life changes, and we'll always get to come back to these times again but we don't get this moment again. We don't get this time again because our human self is only getting this one lifetime. Your soul will return to it. You're getting one lifetime. You'll get to come back to this period next year, but you will be a year older. Life changes a lot in one period, in 1 year. So don't assume that next year you'll be the same person sitting in the same season, the same time, on the same day. The year will have changed, life will have changed, and you will have changed. Don't abandon yourself so quickly to get ahead. I send you so much love.